Now, some good news and some bad news for Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket. Takeoff was successful of the enormous 120-metre-long Starship prototype, but within minutes, the spacecraft exploded and crashed into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, SpaceX had cautioned that chances of success were low, saying the aim of this test flight was to gather data regardless of whether the full mission was achieved. Indeed, some employees at SpaceX even cheered after the rocket exploded. Well, to discuss, I'm pleased to be joined now by the aerospace journalist Olivier Sanguy. Thanks very much, sir, for talking to us on France 24.
Hello.
Are you surprised by what we witnessed today?
Not surprised, because, as you said, SpaceX have warned that at the launch it will be excitement guaranteed, but not necessarily a success. The liftoff by itself was a success. However, when you see a lot of debris have been ejected, so maybe the launch pad will need some refurbishment and perhaps a new design.
We know big picture what Elon Musk's goal is here. He wants to use Starship to get humans to the moon, around the moon, one day even to Mars. Given how spectacularly Starship exploded today, that's a pretty long way off, isn't it?
Yes, it will last for years, but more immediately, Starship is going to be the lunar module for the NASA's Artemis program with Japan, Europe, and Canada. And then the Starship will not lift off with astronauts. It will be sent automatically to the moon, and the Orion capsule with 4 astronauts will rendezvous with Starship, and then the Starship will go to the moon and then get back to the Orion capsule with astronauts. So that's the main goal for the moment. So maybe there will be some delay after this failure in flight. However, that's the way SpaceX is working. They break prototypes to learn.
And they spend a lot of money doing it, don't they? I read that somewhere between $2 and $10 billion have been spent on the Starship project. We don't even know actually how much it's cost. We also don't know how much of that, I suppose, went up in smoke today. But do you think overall it's worth the money that's being invested into this?
Well, if it works, it will be worth the money. I mean, you have a 5,000-ton launcher who is able to put 150 tons on orbit. That's something that does not exist actually. And SpaceX think that's a way of doing space in the future. Prices of launch could be very low if it works. So, well, a lot of money, huge risk, but eventually huge rewards.
Well, NASA has a similar plan, doesn't it, if I understand correctly? NASA's also trying to get humans to the moon again, eventually also thinking about Mars. Is there a rivalry between SpaceX and NASA, or are they kind of working together?
Well, both a bit, but, you know, SpaceX exists because they have money from NASA. I mean, they are a contractor from NASA. They are transporting NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, and it is a commercial contract. So NASA needs SpaceX to succeed, simply.
Olivier Sanguy, thanks very much indeed, sir, for talking to us today.